Tonight's the night for football, everybody. The bright lights are on, the stage is set, and the crowd is ready. It's Monday Night Primetime on EA Sports. Straight ahead with a nationwide audience tuning in. It's a Monday Night Primetime showdown between the Denver Broncos and these guys defending their home turf. On the Broncos sideline, you get a look at their head coach. These guys just about set to go in this one. Along the opposing sideline, the head coach of the Chargers. These guys are ready as they always are to play in front of this home crowd, hoping the extra surge of momentum pays off in a win. Welcome in, everybody. Kate Scott alongside Brock Huard, and I know all of us are ready for this new season to begin. And the NFL on EA Sports is underway once again. This makes it up to the 25. So now out comes the Charger offense for their initial drive of the game. They'll be led out by someone known for putting up numbers since he entered the league back in 2020, the Oregon product, Justin Herbert.
Kid, I really think this is one of those moments where every starting quarterback in the opener, right? Week one, all has a sense of gratitude. All has a smile on their face. You're one of 32 guys on the planet that get to start an NFL season, and you want to make the most of that chance.
Back to the line they go. It's second down. A play fake. Now Herbert to throw. Oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. And the Broncos will take over as he records his first interception of our season. Well, we all know this is a player who's proven that he can weather an early setback and soldier on. That's going to be tested again after his first series ends in an interception.
Yeah, that's right, Kate. You don't get mentioned as one of the league's better passers if you can't shake off an early turnover. Now, his defense got to pick him up.
So we'll see the Broncos offense now for the first time. And they're brought out by the 10th pick of the 2024 draft, a national champion at Michigan, J.J. McCarthy.
It's the dawn of a new season, Kate, with all the promise in the world ahead of he and his squad. And this is where all that off-season planning, the reps in camp, the sweat, the blood, the tears come into play. And you really don't want to stumble out the gate. You want to be the horse who jumps to the front right away and let everybody try to chase you down.
Coming to the line for another 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Running it again with Dobbins. And all he can get is 1 yard. Ran that right into the defensive front.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
It's now 3rd down and 9 yards to go.
McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. Completed over the middle. Good job defensively here to contain the pass. This is going to be 4th down.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, you're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days, and you can make a play in the open field, keep it short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
So this one will not get it done. They're going to turn this over on down.
I think this defense was resigned to giving up 3 points on the opening series. Instead, well, they got the chance to deny them anything, and boy, did they ever attack it.
The Chargers getting their offense set for their 2nd drive. And as they take the field, Brock, they got to be thankful that interception didn't cost them. Still scoreless here.
I like how you say they. I think the quarterback in particular loves a chance to have in golf a breakfast ball or a mulligan, another opportunity to flush that first drive away.
Shotgun snap to Herbert. Thrown towards running back, but he comes up empty, incomplete, and now they're facing 3rd down.
Incomplete. Brings up 3rd down and 3 yards to go.
Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. That's caught for the first. And he's going to be driven out by a defender just before he can get it up to midfield.
It's a gain of 20. That's good for a San Diego.
Now Herbert again. And this goes across midfield into Broncos territory. This is 2nd and 6 coming up.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Herbert to throw once more.
47-yard line.
Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
Incomplete.
No connection on the last play, and now it's 3rd down.
6 yards to go.
It's Herbert once more. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
And the San Diego first down.
From the 40-yard line now. This is 1st and 10.
40-yard line.
They'll give this up the middle to Etienne. And they're going to be set up just outside that red zone. That one goes for 17 yards and moves the chains.
17 yards. That's another Chargers first down.
They'll come up on 1st and 10.
24-yard line.
Herbert from the gun. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
Broncos going nickel here. 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 5.
Shotgun snap. They'll throw. That one's good to McConkey. And he is well clear of that marker. That effort's going to set them up with a 1st and goal.
13 yards on the play. And the Chargers first down.
And that right there is about the best you could hope for against double coverage. Good chunky yards, and more importantly, Brock, you don't get burned taking a risk.
Yeah, it's really the defense that gets burned, and that is just demoralizing. You got double coverage, you got what you want, and 2 guys can't stop one.
Here's 2nd and goal from the 6.
Brings up 2nd and goal at the 6-yard line.
From the gun, Etienne gets it. He's hit and driven backwards. This is going to force him into 3rd and goal.
He was taken down.
The line between safeties and linebackers gets real blurred on plays like that, Brock. He handled that one just like a Mike would have.
Yeah, if injuries were to ever crop up, Kate, I bet he could handle the linebacker spot for them as well. Just tremendous diagnosis in that run support.
And he is into the end zone for the touchdown. The Chargers go up 6-0 here in the 1st. Jason Sanders to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Chargers take a 7-0 lead as he starts this year 1 for 1.
Broncos nothing.
The Chargers just about ready. There they go, sending it away. Return starts from the 16. And great starting field position here as they bring him down beyond the 40. The Denver offense taking the field for their 2nd drive. And they are really starting the season off with a banger of a contest here, Brock. A chance to measure up against a division rival, and this win could be an important one to have in hand in just a few months. Beginning on the ground here with Dobbins. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down after that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. That one intended for Jalen Waddle. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
And 8 yards to go.
3rd and long for him here. Brought in by his back, Dobbins. And he's able to cross midfield before going out. Here comes the Broncos punting unit. And no doubt he wants to get his season started with a good one here. And he's there to make the fair catch right at the 10-yard line. The Charger offense making its way to the field. They threw it the whole way down the field on their last drive, and they'd welcome the same level of play on this series as well. Chargers getting set. 1st and 10. Here's Etienne to begin the drive. And manages 6 yards to begin this one. We've got 2nd and 4.
Well, that run may not move the chains, Kate. That is such a confidence builder. Sets the tone for more play action, maybe more runs. That's exactly how you want to start a drive.
Here comes the screen for Etienne. And he's going to get this one at the 36-yard line. And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10.
And the Chargers, first down.
Out of the gun, a give to Etienne. And he's going to pay off his 1st down run with a nice pickup of 9. Now after the play, looks like we have somebody banged up. What we hope is it's nothing major. Don't want to see a serious injury less than a quarter into the season. Well, after a quality effort on the last play, just really need to fall forward here to pick up that 1st down. On 2nd down, it's Etienne. And he's going to take this down to the opposing 44. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's going to give the Chargers the 1st down.
San Diego, first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
That's certainly a spot where you could be more aggressive, Kate, if you wanted to take your shots. But some coaches, even the bolder ones, will take the safe play first when they get it from time to time. No 3rd down required now.
Downfield, and he has McConkey. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets him all the way down to that 15-yard line. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
San Diego, first down. 1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
If they get a handful of these types of plays per game, the pass game coordinator is going to be one happy camper.
Here's Etienne on 1st down. Good hit on the grounds here. That's going to be a 9-yard pickup as it's 2nd down. After a quality effort on the last play, just really need to fall forward here to pick up that 1st down. Makes the catch. And they take him out of bounds, which means his offense setting up for 1st and goal.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Etienne! Can't fight past that line. They stop him at the 3.
You know, Kate, these are the situations in training camp that I love more than anything to watch. You learn so much about a football team in these goal-to-go situations. You know you got to protect that goal line, and the defense, well, they did the job on 1st down. More to come.
Herbert, quick out wide, complete. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1.
Gain of 3 yards. It's now 30.
Trying to sneak, it's Herbert. And he gets in, touchdown! The Chargers get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. Justin Herbert with the touchdown on a quarterback sneak to the end zone. All right, Brock, wondering your thought here, because to me it felt like they already had a play picked out to go for it on 4th down if that sneak hadn't worked. Do you agree?
Well, by they, if you mean the guys in the booth on the sideline, sure. But the 11 on the field, that effort just showed you they were not thinking about anything else but pushing it across the line.
The Chargers kicking team out, and they'll send this away. And he mishit this one badly. It's out of bounds short of the 40, and they're going to take over at that spot. He is shaking his head, and he's going to be wondering about that kickoff for a while. Couldn't keep it in the field of play, and that offense gets a gift to begin this drive. Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
A gain of a yard.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. The ones that amount to really very little statistically, and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big games of next week.
And they're all over that screen, Brock. Didn't even get back to the line of scrimmage.
Tackle made back at the 39-yard line.
So we're down to 3 quarters remaining in our opening weekend of football. Our score, 14-0. Back in a moment with more of the NFL on EA Sports. We're back, and it is Broncos football as we resume. They'll need something big here to start out. It's 3rd and long. Here he goes, 3rd and long. Hits him on the in route. And this one doesn't go far.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic. but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
He can't evade the coverage team for much. They stop him before he gets really anything on that return. The Chargers offense and Trevor Etienne headed back out there now. They're up 2 touchdowns and could make it a 3-score game here. First call here coming from the shotgun. Herbert back to throw. They'll look underneath here for Etienne. And this is going to be a 4-yard gain. They're out to the 24.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
Herbert now off the play fake. Finds a seam down the middle. And they'll take him down after he advances this up to about the 43. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
And the Chargers, first down.
Well, that is a well-designed route right there. He really made it easy to get that pass to him. Creating space, QB receiver, deliver.
First and 10. Here's Herbert. Finds him over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but not until he reaches that 45-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the first.
First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
Herbert throwing again. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10 now. Herbert has him on the quick hitter. And he's down to the 36 with almost enough for that first down.
To number 16.
3rd and a lone yard coming up.
8 of 9 brings up 3rd and 1.
He's going to keep this one. And he's going to be touchdown as he gets him enough to pick up the first down.
It's a gain of a yard. That's
All set to go now from the 35.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Inside handoff goes to Etienne. He dodged the tackle. And he runs this one in for the touchdown. The Chargers take a 20-zip lead.
That's just simply the difference-making edge that these elite running backs bring to you. A lot of backs can get you 10 yards, 20 yards, but the elite backs, they can take it to the house.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Chargers stretch their lead to 21.
Chargers 21. Broncos nothing.
The Chargers just about ready. There they go, sending it away. Kick taken in here at the 17. They'll have decent field position to begin with here. Rocky's tackled just beyond that 30-yard line. Denver set to take the field on offense. And it's far from the first time we're seeing this unit head out, Brock. But what we haven't seen so far in this opening half, well, we haven't seen much in terms of yardage.
You know, it's like they've written a few lyrics, but nowhere close to a song yet.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And this drive's quickly headed in the wrong direction. First play set down behind the line. That goose egg up on the scoreboard, Brock, that is not going away anytime soon if they keep having plays like that.
They really need something. An injection of energy here. Nothing will take the spark out of a series quite like getting stuck for a loss.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. This is pulled in by McCole Hardman. He's taken down, but not before he gets this one to the 41. They're signaling for a stoppage here, and yep, there's a player injured after that snap. Not what they wanted to see in week 1 as the medical staff heads out to check on him. So first down from the 41. On play action now, McCarthy. This is caught by Jalen Waddle. And he's brought down right in the neighborhood of that 40-yard line. So 20 yards on that play. And that's good for a Broncos first down. Fresh set of downs now from the 39. Shotgun handoff for Dobbins. He finds him 6 yards on that first down run.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that first down marker.
Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And he's tackled with the first down yardage. Double coverage deal breaker for a lot of QBs, Brock, but less so when it's a target you trust.
You know, it's interesting, Kate, even 20-something years ago, watching Marvin Harrison and Peyton Manning work, every defense would go into every game trying to double cover him, but yet those two, well, like we just saw right there, just got it done regardless.
Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
Now 2nd and 6.
Again, they'll run with Dobbins. We call it 1, maybe 2 yards at the end, Brock. It's 3rd down.
Tackle made at the 21-yard
Sometimes
line.
just feel like in the background of every ho-hum run is a bigger play. It just needed one more component. Hit that extra block a little longer. Find the lane quicker. The defender maybe a half step late. And this could have been much, much more exciting.
And they make the stop as that play reaches the 14-yard line.
First down.
That one gains 7. And it's going to be first down, Denver.
First down, Broncos.
Working inside the red zone. And he has it along the sideline, but he got a little too close to that edge. They're going to say he's out of bounds. We've got 2nd down.
Incomplete.
2nd down, still 10 to go after that incomplete pass. Now an inside handoff to Dobbins. And he's going to be bottled up just a few yards into that 2nd down run.
Taken down at the 11-yard line. That's a gain of 3. It's 3rd.
McCarthy throwing on 3rd down. And the Chargers get home, and they drop him. And that sack brings the offense to 4th down.
This defense has been trying like mad to do anything to disrupt the rhythm, get the QB off his spot. It's got to be a massive relief to see their efforts paid off on that play.
Will Lutz getting the call on 4th down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. Ball on the left hash, 37 yards out. The kick by Lutz is good. And it gets a fraction closer as the lead's down to 18.
That's the type of long, sustained drive that takes some of the starch out of your opponent. The only negative is that the kicking team was out there for a field goal and not an extra point. But they do come away with 3.
Starting from the 5. He stopped on the run back of the 27. The Chargers are being led back out on offense by Justin Herbert here. And we're all hoping his hot start can continue. He's been putting up some numbers early in this contest. Chargers getting set. 1st and 10. On the ground to begin this drive with ETN. And he'll manage 3 there to begin this one. 2nd and 7 coming up.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
Play action now for Herbert. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to have it. And he's going to hang on to that football. That's his first career interception.
Obviously not the cleanest game with now 2 interceptions, but here's the key. This is where mental toughness for a quarterback becomes so critical. And frankly, why some of the best QBs playing today have baseball in their background, because you flush your mistakes. Okay, you strike out, you throw an interception, but you got to go get it in that next series. Got to put these interceptions behind and press forward ahead.
1st and 10. It's McCarthy. They're trying to set up the screen. Dobbins. And he's brought down, and a penalty flag out on the play as well. He got a major fistful of jersey on that play, and it's going to end up costing him. We'll give to Dobbins out of the shotgun. He's going to have this one down to the 28. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards.
It's a gain of 21 yards.
And that's good for a Broncos first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Now it's McCarthy. And he just hucks this one away. Wasn't going to risk a throw or force something. It brings up second down.
Kate, from my vantage point up here, that was pretty close to drawing a penalty flag. Risky decision on first down. But there was a target in the area, so thus, no penalty, and we move on to second.
McCarthy trying again on second down. To the left side, it's pulled in by Waddle. And they get this all the way down to the 16-yard line.
12 yards. That's good for a Broncos first down. A gain of 12. First down.
In the red zone on first. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
Going again now, McCarthy. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Trying to find Jalen Waddle. And things look tougher now with third and long.
And 10 yards to go.
Third and long for him here. That's the first down, and he's still going. And he'll be taken down at the last possible moment. He's at the 1. That one goes for 15, and now they're going to have first and goal.
First down. First and goal at the 1-yard line.
Well, bless his heart. Where some quarterbacks look off double coverage and check it down, this guy just attacks it head on. And why wouldn't he if he's capable of beating it for that kind of result?
And the defense holds him at the 2, Brock. He can't get beyond the line. Still a couple yards short of that end zone.
The line of scrimmage.
Another chance at 6. It's second and goal.
Brings up second and goal at the 2-yard line.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. And he's got it. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos pick it off and get points on the ensuing drive. Well, they definitely wanted to get that one out quick, Brock. They did just that, and it ends in 6.
We hear it all the time, but it is so true, Kate. This is a game about matchups. And when you see a throw that quick, it really was determined pre-snap. It was great design and tremendous execution.
Point after try is good by Lutz. And the Broncos make it an 11-point ball game.
21. Broncos 10.
Here's Lutz, set to kick this away.
For the Broncos.
Trevor Etienne to return this. And a decent run back is going to end as they bring him down inside the 30. The Chargers offense getting set to take over. And coming off the interception, a good chance to reestablish some momentum as they get set. Chargers getting set. First and 10. Running it here with Etienne. And he maneuvers through the middle for a gain of 4. So second and 5 on deck as we've reached our 2-minute warning. More on Monday Night Primetime in just a moment. First down run, nabs him 5, now second and 5. Throwing now, Herbert. Escapes a defender. And he's going to go out with a pickup of 3, so chipping away a few here ahead of this third down.
It's a gain of 4. Makes it third.
Here he is on third and short. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
And the Chargers first down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
First and 10 from the 43. This is Etienne. And he's brought down by a collective effort there. Only 1 yard on the carry.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
No connection on the last play. Now it's third down. To the air on third and long. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Jordan Stout's headed out to punt it away on 4. And this is going to be his first punt of the new season. Begins his return in the 16. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return. Denver ready for another offensive possession. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. They'll run on first down with Dobbins. And some excellent work to drive them all the way up past the 30-yard line. First down now, ball at the 33.
And the Broncos, first down. It's a gain of 10.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Might be time to reach in the bag of tricks on second down. 16 to go following the sack. Now McCarthy. Finds his fullback. Still going inside the 35. It won't be a touchdown, Brock, but it sure was close. He winds up out of bounds just about a yard shy of the goal line.
First and goal, Denver.
And the receiver's going to take this one on the jet sweep. And that right there is the start of what could be a goal line stand. They hit him for a loss on first and goal.
Hey, I love the jet sweep as much as anybody, Kate. It could be super effective, but here's the deal. Once you send that receiver in motion, well, you're doomed. Because if they bring an edge pressure...
And they're going to score. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos make it a one-score game before halftime. All right, partner, what do you think? Was that a design read, or did he just see space and he was reacting more on the old quarterback instinct there?
Yes. I think yes on both of them, and that play happens so fast that it really is instincts on both sides.
Watts there to tack on the extra point. And the Broncos cut the lead down to 4.
Broncos 17.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. On the return, this is Etienne. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. The Chargers offense and Trevor Etienne headed back out there now. And he has run roughshod over them in this opening half. Pretty sure this is the exact kind of start that he was hoping to have here. They've got blackjack on the clock. Not a ton of time to use before halftime. Throwing on first is Herbert. Finds him on the slant. And this one gets to the 33-yard line before it's stopped.
A 7-yard pickup brings up second and 3 at the 33-yard line.
So a one-possession game, Brock, after our first 2 quarters. Now let's throw it over to our pal Scott Hanson. He's got our halftime report.
Okay, Kate, thanks very much. So much to talk about as we wrap up week 1, a busy week of football. Let's get right into it. Our trip through the NFL starts now at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. It's the Saints at home to take on Miami. And this is the Dolphins wideout. Beautiful ball hitting him on the slant. He catches it in stride, and he just keeps running. 74 yards to the end zone. With that, a look at what else transpired during a wild and unpredictable week 1 around the NFL. Meanwhile, in our game, both teams have been able to move the ball effectively. It might be a question of which defense can make a stand in the second half. As we hand it back over to the commentary team, Kate Scott and Brock Heward.
The first half controlled by the offenses, Brock. Let's see if the defenses can take over in the second half. We're underway. And he didn't strike that one true, Brock. It came down short of the landing zone he had to reach, so give them the football up at the 40. And this drive is going to have some great starting field position as a result of that short kick.
Automatic first down.
Excellent field position for him here after the kickoff lands short.
Still first down. Delay of game, offense.
And they'll have great field position, Brock, after the unforced error on the kickoff.
Still first down. Delay of game, offense.
And this drive is going to have some great starting field position as a result of that short kick.
Still first down. Delay of game, offense.
Excellent field position for him here after the kickoff lands short.
Still first down. Delay of game, offense.
And they'll have great field position, Brock, after the unforced error on the kickoff.
Still first down. Delay of game, offense.
And this drive is going to have some great starting field position as a result of that short kick.
Still first down. Delay of game, offense.
Excellent field position for him here after the kickoff lands short.
Still first down.
McCarthy looking to throw. Short pass brought in. And this one gets up to the 14-yard line before he stops. Second and long, need to give themselves a shot for third.
Brings up second down at the 14-yard line.
Back to throw. Here's McCarthy. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. So after that prior incompletion, it's third down.
It's now third down.
Here he goes, third and long. Has him on the quick hitter. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
Number 87.
Feet and eyes, Kate. Feet and eyes. They so often tell the story of every position on the field. When that quarterback's feet and eyes move to his secondary read, and so often it's a tight end, well, it's incumbent on that defense to fly to the ball. You want to make that tackle, force the fourth down? It took a great defensive effort to do it.
And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Chargers offense and Trevor Etienne headed back out there now. They've certainly had no issues scoring, but their opponents have been right there with them, so they can really use some more points on this drive. On the play fake, it's Herbert. Finds a man right side. And they send him out of bounds as he gets this to the opposing 45. So a new set of downs. Here we go, first and 10.
First down.
They'll try it left with Etienne. Down the sideline inside the 30. And he is all the way ahead to the 13-yard line. What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with first and 10. Etienne again. And he works his way for a gain of 4. Whistles after that play for an unfortunate sight. A player hurt in the first game of the season. Training staff out to work on him. Four yards on that first down run. Here's second and 6. Herbert, quick out wide, complete. And he's not going to get the first. He made it real close, though. Didn't he, Bronk? It's a gain of 5. Third down coming up.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up third and 1.
Going to keep this one and go. And he's going to have enough for the first down. Not by much, but he got it. That's all that matters. Sets him up with the first and goal.
That's another San Diego first down. First and goal at the 3-yard line.
Etienne is across the line. That's a San Diego touchdown. The Chargers push their lead further to start the half. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one.
This play going under review by the officials.
Previous play is under review.
Well, I certainly don't envy the officials here. A lot of times, Brock, it can be so tough to have the right angle to get a perfect spot on that football.
Yeah, how they do it, I just marvel at it. A bunch
Yeah.
of years ago, I got to do and be an official, a side judge for a spring game.
How'd that go?
Not well, because things happen so fast, and I really do. I marvel at more often than not how good these officials are at spotting the ball.
And his instincts right on for that one. Took a second look at it and ends up changing the call. The charge into traffic, but the line doesn't budge. They stall him out short.
I think I could see that sideline considering the challenge down there. It was close, but I think he got barely enough to escape the end zone. Another run might not be so lucky.
He tries to sneak it, and he runs it across. Touchdown! The Chargers push their lead further to start the half. Justin Herbert with the touchdown. He finds his way in on the sneak. It's tried and true in 32 playbooks across the NFL for a reason, Brock. Even when teams see this one coming, just so tough to stop a quarterback sneak.
It feels like a win in today's football is just to stall them at the line on that play. So many groups are so effective with the QB sneak, but that time the timing of the call I think was most important that led to the score.
The Chargers kicking team out, and they'll send this away. Short kick here, fielded at the 17. He lost the football, and they steal it back on the return. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover. Well, we just don't see kick returns nearly as often as we used to, Brock, which makes impact plays on them like that so much rarer.
Yeah, that is so well said. Kind of reminds me of my son's baseball coach, right? At a young age, you're always coaching those ball's going to come to you. The ball's going to come to you every single pitch. The ball's going to come to you. And these kickoff cover guys, they got to think in their mind every time is my chance to make a play, and they just did.
Fights out the pressure, and they take this in for the score. The Chargers make it a 3-possession game. Justin Herbert with the touchdown. His third of the game on the ground.
Hey, 3 touchdown games aren't unusual for a quarterback, but we normally see him through the air. This QB's legs have been a problem for this defense today.
Extra point attempt coming from Sanders. And the kick is good. And we're going to have some extra yardage added to the kickoff on the roughing call. So they got him for roughing the kicker. They're going to put that penalty yardage on the spot of the ensuing kickoff. Fields this one at the 3. And this drive will start inside the 25. So here comes the Bronco offense. They're running out of time to get this game into a more manageable spot, Brock. They've got a 3-score deficit, and we're in quarter number 3. Broncos to the line now. It's 1st and 10. The play fake. It's McCarthy. And he's just going to get rid of this one. Smart move there. When you saw the field, it's going to be 2nd down.
Derwin James on the cover.
Play action. McCarthy. Looking to his fullback now. And he's taken down just a couple of yards shy of the 40. New set of downs for him and starts at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38.
And we'll play action here. It's McCarthy. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete.
It's 2nd down and
10. 2nd and 10. McCarthy. Mims with the grab. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. All right, they look set now. Here we go. 1st and 10.
That's good for Broncos. 1st down.
Off play action. It's McCarthy. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
It leads to 2nd and 10.
McCarthy trying again on 2nd down. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. 7th play of the drive. Offense facing 3rd and 3.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Again, McCarthy to throw. Waddle makes the catch. And he's out of bounds, just short of the 30.
It's a gain of
1st and 10 from the 32.
Broncos. 1st
Back to the air, McCarthy. It is caught left side. And he's going to take this down to the 11-yard line. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 11-yard line.
Just about every defensive coordinator worth his salt says 2 things in every production meeting. Number 1, well, we got to stop the run. And number 2, we got to take away the tight end. Well, good luck doing it.
And he will score. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos shrinking the lead some in the 3rd. It's a Jalen Waddle touchdown. Exactly the play they were looking for, Brock. They saw it, and he put it right on the money.
Yeah, it really was a perfect play. This is what it looked like in practice, but more importantly now to get it done in game time, that's what you're looking for. Amazing when it all comes together.
Extra point try now from Lutz. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Broncos make it an 11-point ball game.
Broncos 24.
Here's Lutz set to kick this away.
Kickoff for the Broncos.
On the return, this is Etienne. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. Out comes the offense now for the Chargers. And after the impressive drive we just witnessed, you gotta imagine that they are hoping to respond with something similar.
Yeah, and I don't love to use the word can't, right? But this can't be a 3-and-out for this offense right here. They got to give their defense a chance to catch their breath and turn some of the momentum in the building.
Solid running here. That's 9 yards as he brings up second down.
It's a gain of 9. Brings up second and a yard.
They go right back to Etienne. And that short gain is enough for a new set of downs. New set of downs for him. Starts at the 38.
And the San Diego first down.
First and 10. Here's Herbert. Complete out to the right side. And he has it right near midfield here. Looks like about a yard short.
Chargers first down. First and 10.
Here's Herbert. First and 10. Fits it through the middle. And he's going to be down to within a yard of that red zone as the stop is made. So a gain of 30 yards on that play. And that's going to give the Chargers the first down.
10 at the 21-yard line.
You throw it in the middle of the field, it's all about anticipation and accuracy. I mean, those are the two keys all the time in my book, Kate. But when you throw it in the middle of the field with all of the traffic, that's where guys' great anticipation and tremendous accuracy come to life.
He was the rookie from Ohio State there to bring him down.
Brings up second and 4.
It's Hunter on second down. And they're going to stop him, but he got enough to make it first and goal from the 8.
The Chargers first down. First and goal.
Herbert lost the football. Oh, the Broncos get to this one.
Put a check mark by that one. You're going to remember that one, not just over the course of this game, but I guarantee you in the offseason when you're watching effort. That was all about effort. Backs pressed against the wall when you're down here defensively. And that's the type of play that coaches love to see from everyone on the roster.
The Broncos are headed out there alongside Jalen Waddle for this next series. And they're coming off an excellent series throwing the football that led to that touchdown, Bronx. So you and I both expecting that defense to be looking for that on this series. On play action now, McCarthy. Completed over the middle. And he gets this one up to the 40-yard line. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
A gain of 29 yards. First down, Broncos.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Going with Dobbins here. And the stop is made as he drives this to the opposing 43. That play good for 17 on a first down.
That's another Broncos first down. First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Design bootleg here. To the left side, it's pulled in by Waddle. And he's tackled for a short gain.
17, Jalen Waddle. 2 yards
On the shotgun, McCarthy. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And it'll be third down coming up after this defense's third sack of the game.
That's now the third sack of the game, and I know how these defenders start to think. How many more can I tally up before this one's over? Still a bunch of game time. And this defense, well, they're feeling it.
On third and long, it's McCarthy. Complete to Mims. And they're going to bring him down at the 36.
Marvin Mims. A gain of 11 yards. It's fourth down.
So just one quarter to go on Monday Night Primetime. It's Broncos football. They're on a mission here. They trail entering the fourth. Will Lutz getting the call on fourth down to put 3 up here for the Broncos. He was good on his first kick. Gonna need to hit this one well to go 2 for 2. Got all of it, and this is good! And it pulls them back within one score here in the fourth.
Broncos
His make there, they had to have that one. And it really does set up a judgment call down on the field. This is where special teams coach and head coach are talking about game management. Got 3 timeouts left, so you really can write either script you want. Onside kick or send it deep.
Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Charger offense making its way to the field. And their defense held up after that fumble. Only gave up 3, so time for... to make it up to them. Get some points of their own. All right, working from the gun to start. 1st and 10. Here's ETN to begin the drive. Looks like they'll give him about 2 on the opening play of this drive.
Okay, a 2-yard run on 1st down. I think that keeps you ahead of schedule. You're going to have to pick up the pace.
Working from the gun here, it's Herbert. Finds him over the middle. And he's going to have this up near the 40, just a little bit short of it.
It's a gain of 11. And the Chargers, 1st down.
ETN gets it on the draw. And this hasn't been a common sign out of him tonight, but the defense wins this rep. He's limited to no gain on the carry. After that play, we see some concern from their guys on the field. And now we know why. One of their best players was hurt on the play and is getting worked on. Last run only gained a yard. That means it's 2nd and 9. Shotgun snap to Herbert. Short pass brought in. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
9 yards. That's good for a San Diego 1st down.
Motion the tight end over.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. And he'll cross the 50 and start pushing onto the opposing side of the
2
field.
yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Herbert from the gun. Has him on the quick hitter. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
Number 15, Lad McConkey. That's a gain of 3. Now 3rd.
It's Herbert once more. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete. Give him 5 on the play. And that's going to give the Chargers a 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
From the gun, ETN gets it. And into a sea of bodies he goes. Looks like they'll get about 3 out of it.
Hey, not a bad play by any means, but there's room for more, and they know it.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Throwing now out of the shotgun. Throw left side, complete. And he is in. Touchdown. The Chargers go up by 2 scores as they try to put this one away. I should know this by now, Brock. I don't know if you're a Broadway guy, but there's a lot of names that belong on the playbill for this lead we've got here, but his name belongs on the marquee as he brings in his 2nd touchdown grab.
Yeah, a bunch of contributors all throughout this roster. No, not a Broadway guy. And with 2 scores now, it's what, a 2-score game? Easy to see he's been one of the key actors throughout.
Appreciate the honesty. Extra point is good by Sanders. And the Chargers lead by 15 now.
Chargers 42, Broncos 27.
The Chargers just about ready. There they go, sending it away. And this won't have the juice to reach the landing zone, so some great field position coming up for this offense at the 40-yard line. And they'll have great field position, Brock, after the unforced error on the kickoff. Straight ahead, here's Dobbins. And he's going to have this down to the 42-yard line. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And it's going to be 1st down, Denver.
That's good for a Broncos 1st down.
One play in, Brock, and his drive is already in enemy territory.
First down, Denver.
Here's McCarthy on 1st and 10. Brought in by his back, Dobbins. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
J.K. Dobbins. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
McCarthy to throw it.
37-yard line.
Well, his first real mistake. That's intercepted. And the Chargers will take over as he records his first interception of our season.
You know, Kate, so often they say that defense is just reactionary. They're just reacting to what the offense is doing. But I'll tell you what, when you got a defensive call like that, the right personnel, nickel coverage, the right defensive plan, it plays such a huge role in helping take the ball away.
The Chargers offense getting set to take over. They're up by 2 scores, Brock, but we've got some time left, so they still need to mount a drive here. Herbert on 1st down. Short pass caught by his tight end. And he will finally catch up to him just a second before he could reach that 40. So fresh set of downs now from the 39.
39-yard line.
Throwing on 1st is Herbert. Finds him on the crossing route. Space on the right. He's got room. And that is a touchdown. The Chargers make it a 3-score game in the 4th. Rob McConkey with a touchdown. That is a touchdown to one of their prime receiving targets.
This is really what you pay your skill guys for. You know, I had an old coordinator say it's my job to get you a one-on-one. It's your job to go out and win it with a touchdown.
That one splits the uprights. And the Chargers grow the lead now to 22 points. The Chargers kicking team out, and they'll send this away. This one doesn't make the landing zone, so this drive's going to start at the 40.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And this drive is going to have some great starting field position as a result of that short kick. First and 10. It's McCarthy. Caught out left. And they're approaching midfield with that gain of 6. He's up to the 46.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
On 2nd down, here's Dobbins. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know, kid. I didn't think he had it. That did. He knew exactly where he had to get for the first down. Pops up right away and signals first down.
First down, and they go right back to him. And some solid blocking there springs him for 8. It's going to be 2nd down.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
Brings up 2nd and 2.
Back to throw. Here's McCarthy. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. It's sack number 4 in the game for him. This one makes it 3rd down.
This overwhelming pressure and these sacks after sacks after sacks, well, it's built this lead, and you know it's the way they want to finish it.
Wonder what's in the playbook here as they come up on 3rd and 11. To the air on 3rd and long. Can't connect over the middle. It's incomplete. They're signaling for a stoppage here, and yep, there's a player injured after that snap. Not what they wanted to see in week 1 as their medical staff heads out to check on him. Now can't blame him looking at that scoreboard, right? Might as well go for this on 4th down. Desperation time here. Downfield, this finds Waddle. They're going to keep moving forward, Brock, down inside the opposing 30. Coming to the line for another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Running in the red zone. And he gets it in. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos get it back to within 2 possessions. There sure was a lot of trust on that play, Brock, and he proved worthy of it with that end result.
Yeah, good old receiver. Someone who just knows how to get it into the end zone is worth his weight in gold to a QB. And on that throw, there was trust there that he had a shot to find paper.
Chargers 49, Broncos 35.
You know, we tend to say this all the time, and I'll say it yet again, Kate. Big targets in the red zone are an enormous advantage. Not many guys can match up and defend someone like him, and no surprise, they went right to him for the conversion.
He stopped on the run back at the 27. The Chargers offense and Trevor Etienne headed back out there now. And they're already up by 2 scores, Brock, but another one here would really put this one out of reach. The drive starts with a carry by Hunter. And he's brought down as the drive starts out with a 4-yard gain.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
At the 32-yard line.
From the gun, it gives to Hunter. And second down only works out for a yard. The Broncos bringing out an extra DB on 3rd down.
3-yard line. A gain of a yard on the play. Brings up
Herbert.
4.
That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talk about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
The Broncos and their QB, J.J. McCarthy, returning to the field on offense. And he'll be happy to keep letting it fly as much as he has all game. Look at these numbers. They show just how effective he's been in captaining this offense. Here's McCarthy, 1st and 10. Connects on the crosser. And he'll go down after pushing this up to the 29.
Part of the reason I leave you pregame, Kate, and get down to that field and watch these guys throw and catch is I want to see their timing. I want to see their anticipation. That is picture perfect right there. A crossing route thrown that quickly tells me these two are on the same page.
From the shotgun, McCarthy. Hits him on the out route. And he reaches the 35 before going out. You keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, it's McCarthy. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So that brings up 2nd down. Again, McCarthy to throw. Finds him over the middle. And in a blink, they are off to midfield before somebody manages to stop him. Moving quickly, trying to get set.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Throwing on 1st, it's McCarthy. Short pass brought in. And he reaches midfield and starts driving into Chargers territory.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6 at the Chargers' 46-yard line.
Back to the air, McCarthy. Quick slant taken in by Waddle. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39.
7-yard gain. That's another Broncos.
Play action, McCarthy. Has it downfield, working the left. And he's going to be stopped, but not before dealing some damage. He's down to the 12. And dose of the hurry up here.
Broncos 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
From the red zone on 1st. He brings it in. And they bring him down at the 7-yard line. Offense to the line fast.
To Jalen Waddle. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 2nd.
Throwing again now, McCarthy.
The 7-yard line.
And he will manage a little before being forced into a slide, as that's going to chip something off this upcoming 3rd down.
It's a gain of 2. Brings up 3rd and 3.
McCarthy with a blitz coming. Touchdown, Denver. The Broncos now within 1 score in the 4th. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
That one right down the middle. And the Broncos chop the lead in half. It's down to 7.
42.
And just like that, we're back to a one-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Has this at the 6. And that's going to set them up just beyond their own 20. The Chargers send wide receiver Ladd McConkey set for another drive. Their lead's still more than a field goal, thankfully, should the worst happen, Brock. But obviously the goal here is to hang on to the ball and try to run this game out.
Yeah, the goal is to get to the best formation in the history of offensive football. The victory formation.
The victory formation.
That is all that you're thinking right now is just make these plays, run out this clock so we can take one more knee and celebrate.
We have a timeout called by the Broncos. That's their first. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. They're going to pass it here. He's got it over the middle. And he has it to the 23-yard line as he's brought down. Denver calls the second of its 3 timeouts. And they are quite frustrated having to call that after giving up the first. Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10. Hunter on the inside give. Give him 5 on that play as he gets him inside the red zone. Now the Broncos take their 3rd and final timeout. That's all they had, so the offense free to start running the clock down now. Run picks up 6, so that means it's 2nd and 4. Oh, Bronk, look at this. He's setting up to throw it. Looking end zone, but touchdown denied. Knocked away, incomplete. That throw doesn't lead to 6. And now they need to get 4 on 3rd down. Looking to throw. That one's good to McConkey. And he is well clear of that marker. That effort's going to set them up with a 1st and goal.
13 yards on the play. That's another Chargers first down.
I know the Combine tries to test everything it possibly can physically, but I don't know how you test courage at the Combine because there's nobody defending you. Nobody wants to hit you. But that was the epitome of courage to make that in cut and make the catch.
A kneel down here, and they can start to celebrate this win. So the Chargers come away with a win in this one. And this isn't just any 1-0 start for them. They pick up what could end up being a key division victory to have later in this season.